Hello and welcome to this month's review of construction activity and industry prospects. Construction starts on site were 10% higher in the 3 months to February than they were a year ago. Recent Glenigan Index figures show a slowing in the pace of the recovery, but growth is still there. So what are the factors behind the recent performance and where are the hotspots? Joining me is Glenigan's Economics Director, Allan Wilén, to reveal all. Hi Allan.
Hello Sarah.
Allan, this winter's weather has been extreme, the wettest on record, and has caused major disruption across the UK. How has this impacted upon construction?
The weather will inevitably have disrupted work on construction sites across the country. I think that's something that will become evident over the coming months when the ONS publish their construction output figures.
So to what extent has the weather come through in the latest Glenigan figures?
Generally, project starts have remained firm. We've recorded a 10% rise in the Glenigan Index for project starts during the 3 months to February against the same period a year ago. Unfortunately, housing has fared less well and we've seen a slowing in project starts. Now I think that reflects the fact that a lot of those are very geographically diverse sites across the country, and a lot of those are greenfield sites as well. And those are the sort of sites that perhaps are more prone to the problems of flooding and wet ground conditions.
So the housing sector has been particularly hit then. What implications does this have given the recent boom?
Well, market demand continues to strengthen as the economy recovers and in part due to the government's Help to Buy scheme. And I think that's going to underpin activity in the sector over the coming months. Certainly if you look at detailed planning approvals, for example, we saw a 22% rise in the number of units being approved for development last year, and that's going to feed through into sites being opened up over the coming months. Overall, we're forecasting a 12% rise in project starts during the current year.
And of course, overall construction sites are on the rise. What is driving that?
Still very much private sector demand. We've seen a strong growth in both the industrial and the commercial sectors, and that's going to underpin activity during the course of the current year. In addition, recent months have seen a sort of sharp jump in both infrastructure and utilities projects, and that's helped to buoy the figures overall. Looking further ahead, one of the benefits perhaps at least from the construction industry's perspective of the recent wet weather will be a sort of generation of additional work, whether that's more flood defence work or actually repairing all those flooded homes and businesses over the course of this year.
That's great, Allan. Thank you very much. For more on the Glenigan Index and where the construction industry is heading, visit glenigan.com and cmplus.co.uk. Of course, if you want the latest news and forecasts as they happen, you can follow us on Twitter @Glenigan or @CMplus.